To call Dave Fehler a man of all seasons is both fitting and not nearly enough. Because for Dave, the seasons don't just change, they continue. Volleyball in the fall, basketball in the winter, softball in the spring and summer. Year after year, decade after decade, for nearly 50 years, the uniform may have changed, but the man never did.
Well, it definitely means being consistent and dependable in any situation. I was in community schools, I've been a coach, I've been in education for over 30 years, and park and recreation and officiating. This is my 49th season for refereeing volleyball and basketball, and also coaching or umpiring softball. It's an avocation for 12 months. You're pretty much working all year round. And so you just have to have a passion, and I really enjoy officiating.
Dave's story begins in Spokane, Washington, where he was raised on Elm Street in a neighborhood full of life.
There were 20 kids on our block, 3 girls, 2 boys younger than I was, and all the other boys were 3, 4, 5 years older than I was. And so if we played sports in the yards or on the street, I had to be better to play with those older boys.
It was the kind of place where doors were always open, where nearly 20 kids filled the street, and where games were never scheduled, they just happened. Football in the front yard, basketball in the driveway, summer nights that stretched long past sunset under glowing streetlights. That's where Dave learned the game. But more importantly, that's where he learned connection.
Boy, there's another family. It's not just your biological family, but family of referees and umpires and volleyball and basketball and baseball. It's a family, and that is really a lot of fun to go to meetings and then to be assigned with different people. You have people like Steve Bates, Steve Bulin, Jerry Bone, John McDermott, Charlie Goodman, David Jorgensen, Chuck Bauman, Gail Winden, Brian Sutherland, and former winners Fred Martin, Randall Garay. I mean, it's just a family, and we do things now. We go to plays together, for the high schools. We like to support the theater, and we go out for meals and things like that. So I think just that camaraderie of being with other officials, learning from them. I had 2 mentors when I started basketball, Mr. Bates, Millard Bates, and we also had people that I still used his terminology when I was doing my games. And so it's just, Dave Farron was another one that brought me along when I was young. So I think just that camaraderie and wanting to do your best.
Through it all, Dave has never lost sight of what matters most: people, relationships, the moments. Whether coaching softball teams, calling games, or sharing stories as a broadcaster, he has always brought the same energy: authentic, positive, and human.
I have a good sense of humor, and I like to use it if I can, on the court or the diamond or wherever you are. Right now, Robert Bolin is our commissioner, and I like mentoring the younger referees, but I remember doing a basketball game at McNary, and Molly was the coach. She's after Bob Jones, I think, and so she's yelling, 5 out, 5 out, and I swore she said, time out, time out. So I stopped in front of her and I raised my hand and I go, what kind would you like, a 30 or a 60? She goes, oh, no, I'm calling out a play, 5 out. And I go, well, it'd sure make me look better if you took a timeout right now. She smiled, I smiled, she took a timeout, and so that was a fun interaction with Molly at McNary.
And alongside him every step of the way was his wife, Lynn, a partner in every sense of the word, a supporter, an educator, and, as she likes to say, watching from Switzerland, right in the middle, cheering on the game and the people in it. After nearly 50 years, Dave Fehler's legacy isn't just measured in games worked or seasons completed. It's measured in trust, in respect, in the thousands of athletes who competed under his watch and knew the game was in good hands. Because Dave didn't just officiate sports, he elevated them with integrity, with humor, and with heart. That is what it means to serve. That's what it means to lead, and that is what it means to be a beacon.